Good morning to everyone. In the last class, we learnt about the outer orbital complexes in means sp3d2 complexes. Here d orbital should be present in the outermost shell. It means ion undergoes sp3d2 hybridization. Here the ligand is weaker and it is not forcefully pairing up, so the d orbital present at outermost shell. Okay, there are two examples is there. One is hexafluorocobaltate 3. You have to know about that. First we have to know the atomic number and electronic configuration, mainly outermost shell, and oxidation number and electronic configuration and magnetic properties. If unpaired electron is present, it is paramagnetic. If it is absent, it is diamagnetic. And the structure. Okay, next, second one is hexaquaferrate 2 ions. Okay, this is the structure and it is also paramagnetic because unpaired electrons are present. This is all about the yesterday class. Now we move on to the next hybridization is geometry of complexes with coordination number is equal to 4. Okay, coordination number is equal to 4. In that you have to know about that geometry of complexes with coordination number is equal to 4. There are two geometry is there. First one is tetrahedral. Next, second one is square planar. First one is tetrahedral and second one is square planar. For tetrahedral, the hybridization is sp3. For square planar, that is dsp2 or sp2d. Okay, the possible hybridization for square planar is dsp2 or sp2d. Here also d that should be present in inner shell, that is called dsp2, and here d that should be present in the outer shell, the dsp2d hybridization. Okay, the first example is for sp3 and both square planar. The first example is tetracyanonickelate nickelate 2 ion. Okay, this is the first complex. In that we have to know about the nickel electronic configuration. Here the outermost electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. Here I am writing only the outermost electronic configuration. Okay, then we have to calculate the oxidation number of nickel. Here I am writing -2 because it has -2, and in that we have to calculate the oxidation number of nickel. You have to write X plus. For cyanide, the oxidation number of cyanide is -1. How many atoms are there? 4 into 4 is equal to -2. Then X minus 4 is equal to -2. This 4 should be shifted to here. Then X is equal to -2 plus 4 is equal to +2. Okay, and in that how many electrons are removed? 2 electrons from the outermost shell. Then the electronic configuration is nickel plus 2 ion is equal to 3d8 4s0. Okay, next you have to write the electronic configuration D as a 5 suborbitals 1 2 3 4 5. Next 4s0, and after that you have to write 4p also. 1 2 3d 4s 4p. 3d how many electrons are there? 8 electrons, so that's why 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, here cyanide is the strong ligand, so that's why there will be pairing is possible. Then the electronic configuration is 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 3d 4s and 4p 1 2 3. Okay, how many ligands are there? 4 ligands. Then how many vacant orbitals should be available for nickel? 4 vacant orbitals. Then you have to know about that. 1 2 3 4. Okay, 3 4. Then how many vacant orbitals should be present in D? 1. D, S is S 1. For P it has 2. Then hybridization is dsp2 hybridization. dsp2 hybridization. Here there is any unpaired electrons? No. So then it is diamagnetic. Diamagnetic and low spin complex. Low spin complex. Then the structure is nickel, cyanide, 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 cyanide. Okay, how many charges? -2. This is all about the tetracyanonickelate. Okay, we have to know about the electronic configuration. Here I am writing only the outermost shell. Okay, then calculate the oxidation number and write down. Here cyanide is the strong ligand, then pairing will be possible. The hybridization is dsp2 hybridization and it is diamagnetic because unpaired electrons are absent and low spin complexes, and this is about the structure. And it is also square planar. Okay, square planar complex because it is dsp2 hybridization. Okay, next we will move on to the second example. Here second one is copper NH3 4 2 plus. Copper NH3 4 2 plus. It is tetramine copper 2 ion. Okay, next here for copper is the central metal atom. The outermost electronic configuration is 3d10 4s0. Here generally it gets 3d8 4s2, but for getting a completely filled d orbital, it accepts the 2 electron from s orbital, then it gets 3d10 4s0. And here we have to calculate the oxidation number of copper. Here the ligand is ammonia, that is neutral ligand. It means neutral, there is no charge. Copper X plus 0 is equal to plus 2, then X is equal to plus 2. The oxidation number is plus 2, then it removes the 2 electron from the d orbital, then copper 2 plus ion is equal to 3d8 4s0. Okay, and in that we have to write a electronic configuration. 1 2 3 4 5, that is 3D. Next 4s, next 4p. 1 2 3. In that you have to write 1 2 3 4 5. How many electrons are there? 8 electrons. Remaining is 3. 1 2 3. Okay. In that ammonia is the ligand. There is no pairing is possible. Then there are 4 electrons are ligands are present. It means how many vacant orbitals should be need? There are 4 vacant orbitals should be need for copper to bond with the 4 ligand ammonia. Okay, then this is 4p. Okay, and this is the 1. Okay, next, and here also we getting a 4d electrons also. In that you have to observe here carefully. 1 2 3 4 5, 4s and 4p, 1 2 3, and 4d also. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, here we are writing 3d also, and in the 3d there is no vacant orbital, and 4s we have 1 and 4p we have 3 and 4d. But here in the 4p orbital, one of the d electron should be goes through the 4p orbital. Okay, so that's why there will be 2 vacant orbital is there. You have to observe this. In the 3d orbital, one of the electron should be goes through the 4p orbital. It means excited. Lowest state to the highest state, the electron should be excited. Then how many vacant orbitals should be present in the p orbital? There will be 2 vacant orbital and 1 is s. Okay, how many orbitals should vacanted? 3, and then we need a 1 orbital vacant orbital, so we are getting 1 orbital from the 4d. Did you get it? Why we taking 4d here? In that 1 electron in the presence of 3d orbital, that should be excited towards the 4p. So in the 4p there are 2 vacant orbitals are present. Then the hybridization is sp2d. Okay, the hybridization is sp2 dehybridization, and it has an unpaired electron, so it is a paramagnetic. It is a paramagnetic and high spin complex. It is a paramagnetic and high spin complex, and the structure is copper, ammonia, NH3. There are 4 ligands and 4 coordinate bonds are present, and the charge is 2 plus, and it is square planar, and it is square planar complex. Square planar complex. Okay, here I am telling again, here 1p should be vacated, sorry, 1d should be vacated. This electron should be excited towards the p orbital, so that's why 2p orbitals are vacated, and 1s and 1 from the 4d. This is the sp2d hybridization. This is outer shell orbitals, because the d should be present in the outer shell. This is all about the tetramine copper 2 ions. Okay, you have to observe this. Here there will be 1p orbital should be occupied by 1d electrons. Okay, last 2 examples for sp2d or dsp2 hybridization means it is a square planar. Now we know about the tetrahedral complexes. tetrahedral complexes for sp3 hybridization. Okay, for sp3 hybridization, first one is Zn NH3 4 2 plus. Okay, it means tetraamine zinc 2 ions. In that you have to write the electronic configuration is for zinc is 3d10 4s2, 3d10 4s2. Okay, and in that you have to calculate the oxidation number for zinc is equal to +2. Zinc is X and plus here ammonia is the neutral ligand. Then next sorry, I am not writing here, E3. Okay, 0 is equal to +2, then X is equal to +2. The oxidation number of zinc is +2. Then how many electrons should be removed? 2 electrons. Zn +2 ion is equal to 3d10 4s0. Okay, we have to write the electronic configuration. How many suborbitals are present in D? There are 5. This is 3d and 4s. Next is 4p. 1 2 3. In that how many electrons are present? 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. All the 10 electrons should be pairing up also, and that should be filled by 3d orbitals. Here how many ligands are there? 4 ligands. How many vacant orbitals should be needed for zinc? 4. Okay, here 4s and 4p is there, 1 from 4s and 3 from 4p. Then the ligand should be bonded with the zinc. Then how many electrons, how many orbitals are there in S? 1 and p 3. That is sp3 hybridization. Here there is no unpaired electron and it is diamagnetic because there is no unpaired electrons, and it is tetrahedral in shape. Tetrahedral, and the structure of this complex is zinc NH3 and NH3. The charge is +2. This is about the complex of tetraamine zinc 2 ions. Okay, the oxidation state is +2. This is the all about the tetraamine zinc 2 ions. Next, last example is there. There is a last example, that is tetracarbonyl nickel 0. In that for nickel the outermost electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. Okay, in that the oxidation number of nickel we have to calculate is equal to, here there is no charge, then we have to write it is 0. Nickel as X plus, this is the neutral ligand, so it carries also a 0. Then the charge is 0. The oxidation number of nickel is 0. Then there is no electron should be removed. Okay, next we have to know about the write the electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. Here you are writing 1 2 3 4 5 and 4s and 4p. 1 2 3. Okay, this is 3d, this is 4s and 4p, and here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 4s we have 2 electrons. In that, these 2 electrons should be goes to the 3d orbitals. Then the electronic configuration is 1 2 3 4 5 4s 4p. Why these 4s electrons should be goes to the 3d orbital? It means for only 2 electrons should be needed to complete the d orbital to get a stable electronic configuration core. So that's why this s electron should be goes to the d orbital. Then the 4s should be vacated, 4s and 4p. Here there are 4 ligands are there. Then nickel should have the 4 vacant orbitals. Then here 4s1 and 4p3 is there. Then the hybridization is sp3 hybridization. For sp3 hybridization, it is tetrahedral. It is tetrahedral and there is no unpaired electron is there. It means it is diamagnetic. It is diamagnetic. These are all about the examples of coordination number 4. Okay, in that sp2d and dsp2 hybridization for square planar and sp3 hybridization for tetrahedral complexes. Next of VBT is limitations of VBT. Okay, first limitations is VBT cannot account for the relative stability for different shapes and different coordination number in metal complexes. It means it does not explain the stability of complexes. It does not explain the stability of complexes. Okay, first main limitation means it does not explain the stability of complexes. In that, there is shapes and coordination number. Okay, next, second one is it cannot explain why copper 2 plus ion form distorted octahedral complexes when all the 6 ligands are identical. It means in the copper 2 plus, it has a 6 ligands and that ligands are same. So its structure gets distorted. Distorted means when copper 2 plus, it has a square planar complexes, its structure is square planar, it should be distorted means change with other structure, but it does not explain this theory. Okay, this is the second one. Next, third one is the classification of metal complexes on the basis of their magnetic behavior into inner orbital and outer orbital complexes is not satisfactory. It means he explains the inner and outer orbital. In that, it does not give the sufficient explanation. Okay, it is not a satisfactorily. So that's why that rule should be not considered. This is the third limitation. And fourth one is it does not interpret the color of the complexes. It cannot interpret or explain the color of complexes. I already told in the previous classes, almost all complexes are colored, but he does not explain the color of complexes, and also he does not explain the magnetic behavior. He just explains the magnetic properties, and he does not explain the magnetic behavior of the complexes. Magnetic behavior of the complexes. Okay, this is all about the main limitations of VBT theory. First one is he does not explain the stability of complexes. Second one is copper 2 plus, it has 6 ligands. That ligands is all the same ligands present in that. The geometry will be distorted. He does not explain that geometry, and he explains only inner and outer orbital. It does not satisfactorily. It cannot explain color of complexes and cannot explain the magnetic behavior. You only tell the magnetic property, either it is diamagnetic or it is paramagnetic. Okay, thank you one and all.